Hello everyone, welcome to the Star Wars Vault. If you are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe to see new Star Wars videos every week. Alright everybody, I just thought of something that I think is really interesting that apparently no one else is taking notice of. So therefore, I'm going to shed some light on this so we can all start discussing. So we've noticed quite a pattern with Jedi or Force users who end up dying in pure harmony or sacrifice, and then soon after we see their physical body vanish into thin air. The first time we see this is back in the very first film in 1977 with A New Hope. This is when Darth Vader kills Obi-Wan Kenobi, where Kenobi closes his eyes and allows the fatal strike, cementing his sacrifice fully into the Force. We then see this again in Return of the Jedi when Luke visits a dying old Yoda, who slowly passes away under his blanket after 900 long years of living. He too vanishes and eventually is seen at the end of the film. But a lot has happened since then, fellas, so at the end of The Last Jedi, we see Luke using all his Force power to create a Force projection of himself to distract Kylo Ren in the First Order so that the Resistance can escape the planet Krayt. Luke is devastated from exhaustion and slowly passes away after looking on the twin sunset in his final moment, shortly disappearing afterward with his robe even flying away. Now, after we've seen Episode 9, we saw Leia use all of her remaining life energy to reach out to her son Ben Solo from across the galaxy in order to save Rey from him, as well as one last attempt to save her son as well. What is interesting about this one, though, is that when she dies at this moment, she does not vanish until Kylo has officially redeemed himself back into Ben Solo after throwing his lightsaber into the water. Finally, we last see Ben Solo die after being extremely beat up in the final battle with Palpatine, then making the ultimate sacrifice by reviving a deceased Rey and giving all of his Force or life essence to her. We see him as well immediately vanish after falling back. So now it makes me wonder, why didn't Darth Vader, or should I say Anakin Skywalker, not vanish in Return of the Jedi? Recapping, we saw Obi-Wan, Yoda, Luke, Leia, and even her son Ben Solo all have their physical bodies completely disappear on screen. The first four I honestly don't have a problem with, since they were all Jedi who never turned evil. But even Kylo Ren got the same treatment. And, I like that ending for him as well. I really do, because he did make a huge sacrifice, and his body vanishing is definitely earned. But with Vader, we see Luke burn his body with proper respect at essentially a closed funeral. By the way, I don't have a problem with any of these scenes in the movies. I actually love every single one of them, especially Vader dying in front of Luke, and Luke giving him the emotional ending he deserved on the funeral pyre. I just think it's an interesting thing to discuss. We do know that Obi-Wan's voice reaches out to Anakin once he dies, and he tells him to follow his steps immediately in order to retain his consciousness. So maybe there's something to that. And also, yes, I do know that the OG Force Ghost, Qui-Gon Jinn himself, also did not vanish, so therefore Anakin is technically not alone in this. The only thing I have to say about that, though, is Qui-Gon is the very first Jedi or Force user who achieves this amazing feat that we at least know of. So I understand why he didn't vanish, because he wasn't trained by others to be ready for this transition into the Force. In fact, his death was very sudden and unexpected, where you can make an argument for everyone else's death to be somewhat calculated or well expected. I will say, though, that I love Qui-Gon in Episode 9, or Episode 1, I should say, is burned on a funeral pyre, just like Anakin is in Episode 6, the very person he believed was the one to bring balance to the Force, the chosen one. You see yet another parallel in George Lucas's original version of the saga, from Episodes 1 through 6, from beginning to end, the rhyming of all these characters. But now it's time for you guys to let me know what you think about all this. Do you think it's interesting that Anakin was the only one who didn't vanish after death, even though he also became a Force Ghost? Do you have any idea or belief to why this may be? Let's have some fun, guys. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to hit that like button, as it really does help the channel. Feel free to follow my social media pages. Links will be in the description. Thank you all so much for watching today, and until next time, may the Force be with you.